Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 90 of Crunch Time with the N326 duo. I'm your host, Sam Gotzi, and with me today, as always, is my guy, Tanner Dislin. Tanner, how are you doing?
I am doing great, man. We are in the thick of the winter sport playoff season. Um, Anybody who listened to our episodes last year during this time know that in a shocking turn of events, as two guys who are definitely more basketball guys than hockey guys, um, the NBA playoffs is something, I guess. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't know what the
it's
right
been
word
put on
is.
the back burner for sure for us,
Yeah, I
too.
mean, the first round, frankly, just hasn't been it. But yeah, we got hockey on too. The TVs are constantly going. Oh, and the NFL draft is
Yeah,
coming up this week. So a lot of stuff on the table.
Yeah, a lot going on. This episode will be dropping the morning of the NFL draft, so that will be an exciting night. But we're gonna be talking about, like you said, NFL draft, a blockbuster trade, and a quarterback still looking for that deal. Also, we'll dive into those NBA playoffs and what our first round thoughts are and what we see from here on out. But with that, let's begin, Tanner. NFL talk to kick it off. The bad man is officially gone, Tanner.
I tell you what, it felt like this day would never come. And when we thought it was going to come, uh, pause. When we thought it was going to come in March, it just didn't. It
Yeah.
just didn't. And it was so much so that it became a loser in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
We talked about it. It's like, is this deal going to happen? And then you could see it stalling, it not happening, him playing for the Packers again. But yes, Aaron Rodgers is officially a New York Jet. He is out of the division. He is out of my life. We can get him out of here. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I don't want to hear about him anymore. You can talk about the Jets and how good they're going to be. Sure. I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to talk about his antics. I don't want to talk about the Green Bay Packers. I don't want to talk about any of that BS. He's out of my life. Finally, I could not be happier.
Yeah, man. For those of you who don't know, Jets got Aaron Rodgers alongside a 15th pick and a 2023 fifth rounder. In return, the Packers got the 13th pick, a 2023 second round pick, a sixth round pick, and a conditional 2024 second round pick that becomes a first if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the plays. So a lot going down here. Aaron Rodgers is finally a Jet after months of speculation. Um, Tanner, is it what for me? Getting Aaron Rodgers and the 15th pick is kind of wild to me. I'm shocked that they managed to pull the 15th pick. But it'll be interesting. I think the Jets have taken a major step in the right direction. I mean, going from Zach Wilson to one of the best quarterbacks in the league is a huge step, no doubt.
I mean, I was going to say, I mean, this team had any sort of competent quarterback play last year. They are comfortably in the playoffs. They had one of the best defenses in the league. I mean, I think they had won 7 games with basically no quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how well rounded and young this team is. And you add
Mm-hmm.
all that raw talent. You even bring in some guys that Rodgers is familiar with. I mean, went ahead and brought in Alan Lazard,
Yeah. Oh,
from
I
Green
forgot
Bay,
about Alan
one of
Lazard. Yeah.
one of his main targets. So that's a wide receiving core that's really talented.
Yeah.
Then you bring in, of course, Aaron Rodgers to be able to hand the ball off to a healthy Brees
Brees Hall.
Hall, and then that defense was as
Yeah.
nasty as it got last year, and of course led by Quinnen Williams up front, Sauce Gardner in the secondary. This is a very complete football team,
Yeah.
man. It's hard because they do play in the AFC East with the Bills, with the Dolphins, who got a lot better. Don't forget they brought in Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult, very very difficult division, very difficult conference. AFC quarterbacks continue to be just insane.
Yeah.
If you look about it right now, Sam, who's the best NFC quarterback in the league? It's got to be Jalen Hurts, right?
Gotta be.
I mean, like it's insane
Yeah.
how weak of a quarterback conference the NFC is. You
Yeah.
look over at the AFC, of course, you got your Mahomes, you got your Burrow, you've got your you probably got your Lamar. We don't know yet, but
Yeah.
for now you've got your Lamar. And then of course now you add Rodgers in there along with Herbert and all these other guys.
Yeah.
Like it is insane how stacked the AFC
Yeah,
is.
it is. It is. It's gonna be crazy.
Josh Allen too.
Josh Allen, yeah, probably one of the best ones in that group. But yeah, it's crazy. Do you think the Packers are saying they kind of won this trade? Because for months and months and months, Aaron Rodgers has been saying, I'm not going to play for the Packers. I'm thinking about retiring. Do you think they're just happy getting something in return?
Look, I always have a little bit of a problem with people when immediately after a trade. You know, everybody loves to do it. It's what we do in sports, right? When everybody
Yeah.
trades, who won the trade? Who won the trade? We don't know who won the trade. The Packers at number, with one of the second round pick they get this year, they could take someone who gets hurt or someone who's just not can't play in the NFL level and is out of the league in 2 years,
Yeah.
or they could draft the next, I don't know, the next like great wide receiver, the next
Yeah.
great. So it really, really depends on. I know, like it's obviously not any sort of hot take at all. It depends on what they get with the
Yeah.
picks, but there's just no way of telling who won this. But what I can do is look at the value, and I will say, granted, I think I'm able to be impartial on this, but as you guys know my feelings towards Aaron Rodgers and the Packers organization. But you look at this this haul, switching first round draft picks 2 spots. The Packers
Yeah.
got up 2 spots, bringing in a second rounder this year, a first rounder, or no, so a second rounder, a sixth rounder, and then a second round pick that would become a first round pick.
Yeah.
So they didn't even get a first rounder. They just flipped in the first round.
Yeah. Basically.
Jeez, man, it just doesn't look like a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. But I see the appeal if you're the Packers, right? I mean, we went through this whole game during this month to 2 month long negotiation of, who has the leverage. Who the hell has the leverage? We don't know who has the leverage because you got Rodgers threatening to retire,
Yeah.
and the Packers won't get anything for him. So that takes away the
Mhm.
Packers' leverage. But you also got him saying he want to play for the Jets, which, I mean, if you're the Jets front office and you don't make that happen, you're getting fired yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So the pressure becomes on the Jets. So the leverage dynamic was really weird, very strange. From what I heard and what I heard the Packers were demanding and everything, didn't seem like a lot, but I get it. I get the willingness to move on
Yeah.
because I still think, it's this Bill Belichick notion, right? You rather get rid of someone 1 year early than 1 year late. Getting rid of Devontae Adams last year and not Aaron Rodgers is just seems like a big mistake right now.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Where do the Packers go from here? The Jets, will it all pan out, or will we see Aaron Rodgers retire in a year? We don't know. But that'll kind of wrap it up for the Aaron Rodgers trade talk. And let's move on to this NFL draft. It will be Thursday night day. This episode drops. Obviously, we're not going to break down pick by pick who we think the Vikings and the Cowboys are going to take because, let's be honest here, we have no freaking clue.
Not a damn clue. Neither of us have particularly high picks.
Yeah.
I know the Vikings are a prime target to trade back because they need a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They could also maybe jump forward because their quarterback future is really uncertain. So
Yeah.
if someone falls a little bit, or maybe like a Hendon Hooker or someone they like and can take a project on for 1 year, they can maybe make that move up to grab him. So we have absolutely no idea.
So we're not even going to try. We're going to talk
like
about the big names in this draft. Obviously, a lot of quarterbacks, good quarterbacks, coming out of this draft, headlined by these 4 guys: Bryce Young, Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Tanner, if you are the owner of the Panthers, who are you taking at 1?
Yeah, if it's me, um, I think for me personally, I'm going C.J. Stroud.
I agree.
He is, for me, he was the best quarterback last year in college. I like, comparing him to Bryce Young. I would not be. I mean, I wouldn't be upset whoever they take, but I wouldn't be shocked if they go with Bryce Young, or I wouldn't be like, it literally would just be like, okay, if they went Will Levis or Anthony Richardson, I would be very shocked.
Yeah.
I would be shocked, and I would be I don't know if I'd say annoyed because I don't really care about the Panthers, but it's just a classic example of the 1 and 2 for 2 years now. Even when they were freshmen
Yeah.
at Alabama and Ohio State, we were like, gosh, these are
These
going to be
are
the
going to be the top 2 picks.
top two
Yep.
picks, or at least the top 4, depending on who needs a quarterback, who needs
Yeah.
what. They're going to be the top two
Top 2
quarterbacks
quarterbacks.
taken.
Yeah.
They're clearly the best in the draft class, and then of course via pro days and combines, and people climb, people do this, yada yada yada, whatever. I do think both Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, more so Anthony Richardson, are good talents.
Yeah.
I would be excited if my team got them, but it's got to be one of these two, right? It
Yeah.
just has to be one of these two. And between these two, as I said before, I'm going C.J. Stroud. I think I like the height a little bit more. The big joke. What is Bryce Young's height? What is Bryce Young's height?
It's a
That
serious
matters.
concern.
That
Yeah.
matters. C.J. Stroud's the most accurate quarterback out of
Yeah.
all these, I think. And if you're the Carolina Panthers, when you just signed Adam Thielen, your defense was very good last year. Like, you're not necessarily a team that's got a long window to rebuild, and like, your
Yeah.
team's not totally in win now mode, but you signed some veteran pieces. Your defense isn't bad. Maybe getting a more NFL ready quarterback now, when one like CJ Stroud, taller, more
Yeah.
accurate, can plug and play, than a team like, I don't know if you're if you're Houston or you're Indianapolis, who's
Yeah.
just really got nothing really going on. You maybe take the higher upside guy. So
Yeah.
for me, I got CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I agree. I think CJ Stroud, like you said, was the best quarterback in college football last year. I don't think it was particularly close, to be honest with you. My I think, like you said, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud are up at the top. Then a sizable gap with Will Levis, I think. I'm not impressed. I'm not seeing, because let's be honest, he's not the most mobile quarterback, and in today's day and age, you need to be able to tuck and run. That's just how it is. And can we please stop putting so much impact on that guy's draft stock in his pro day? Because let's be
The
honest,
Zach
dude.
Wilson throw.
Zach Wilson, Anthony Richardson just being an absolute freak athlete, which no doubt, mad impressive, but he was, I wouldn't say he was bad quarterback. He was all right. I was not overly impressed with his play in college. I think that I don't think he should be in this conversation. I think he's a mid first, early second talent personally.
Really?
I'm not high on Anthony Richardson. I really am not, man. I think no doubt freak athlete, but I don't know. I just was not impressed with him playing for Florida this year.
That's interesting. Okay. I mean, I definitely agree that Bryce Young and CJ Stroud are the tier above. And I mean, the Texans are in an interesting spot because, they do have Davis Mills, who's not awful.
Yeah.
They have so many holes on their team. So this will be a prime example for them to go best player available and not necessarily best quarterback. But even with all of that, if I'm doing this and I have Carolina, as I said before, I go CJ Stroud. And then with Houston, I would go Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Then at 4, if I'm Indy, I would go Anthony Richardson. I would go Anthony Richardson if I'm Indy, because he's as everybody knows, he's a little bit of a project. He's got crazy athletic talent. And I mean, you're the Colts. You have Jonathan Taylor, one of the better running backs in the league. You have Quentin Nelson, one of the best running guards in the league.
Yeah.
You've last year's offensive line was kind of brutal, but in the past years have had really good offensive lines behind Quentin Nelson.
Yeah.
You know how to build an offensive line, and I think that ground game can be really special. And getting a very athletic, mobile quarterback who has passing upside, but that will be more of a project, I think is perfect
Yeah.
for Indianapolis' situation. So that's where I'd go at number 4. If I'm Indianapolis, is I would go with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because I've read a lot that the Panthers are kind of locked in on Bryce Young.
I have read a lot about that too, and I would also like to say that I do think they go Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I personally would go
I
CJ Stroud.
yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting seeing who goes where. Obviously, a lot of talent. Jalen Carter, is that his name?
Yep.
A lot of off the field kind of stuff going on with him. Whereas he fall Will Anderson, a guy that's kind of going under the radar.
I think is the best all around player.
Oh, 100%.
Yes, I guess I kind of framed that like a hot take. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the best player in the draft. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd not be surprised if the Texans take him.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, it's just one of those scenarios where whether or not they have their quarterback next year really makes no difference. It is a relatively deep, at least top-heavy quarterback draft this year, so you might want to take advantage of that. But if you have a chance to go get the best player in the draft, you might do that. And while still, I mean, you don't never want to tank, but if you don't have your quarterback, your team's still pretty bad. You'll probably have a high draft pick next year.
Yeah.
And if you don't hire a coach just to fire him, so he spites you and goes for 2 and ends up losing you the first round draft pick or the first overall draft pick.
Yeah.
Next year you could get Caleb Williams, and that would be pretty nice if you're Houston.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't hate that at all. With the wild card for me, especially in the quarterback saga, is pick 3. Pick 3 is the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals do not need a quarterback.
Nope.
They just signed I almost said Kyrie Irving. Wow. They just signed Kyler Murray. They have his back. You see, they went to they went
to
his
statue unveiling in Norman.
At Oklahoma. So they're clearly bought in on him. So they don't need a quarterback. So they are a prime. The team sucks around him, right?
Yeah.
So they are a prime candidate, to trade back. If you're Indy sitting at 4, I'm thinking Indy's got to go quarterback. They have their quarter. They can't keep trading valuable assets for old quarterbacks like a Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, yada yada yada. So they got to go quarterback. But you have at 3 Arizona, who is actively shopping their pick.
Yeah.
So if you're Indy, and let's say you do like an Anthony Richardson, or you think that Houston's going to go Will Anderson, and you like CJ Stroud, maybe they jump up to 3 to ensure that no one else does, because you tell me you can't see, looking at some of these teams, you're like at 7. I know the Raiders just signed Jimmy Garoppolo, but see them making a move up to get their guy for the future. Jimmy G, kind of a perfect bridge quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me like Atlanta or Tennessee, another prime example at 11 of a team that could jump up, and of course Arizona is the prime example. So yeah, I mean, if I'm Indianapolis, I'm possibly seriously looking at jumping up to 3 just so no one else does. And takes your quarterback from him.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be very interesting to see how all of this pans out. We just talked about incoming quarterbacks. There is a quarterback still out there, Lamar Jackson. My buddy Sam Hansen, big Ravens fan, has a question. Thought it'd be applicable here. Lamar Jackson is asking for Deshaun Watson money, 5-year, $230, fully guaranteed. That's kind of what he's looking for. Doesn't really have an agent. Tanner, do you give him that contract?
I absolutely give him that contract.
Absolutely.
I absolutely give him that contract. This dude is special, man. And anybody who says he can't throw, I mean, he's definitely not as good a thrower as he is a runner. I guess, does that mean he can't throw? No, that doesn't mean he can't throw. Watch the dude play football.
Yeah.
The dude can throw. Like he spent what 5 years in Baltimore throwing to Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews is a good tight end, but is a tight end.
Yeah.
Get this guy some weapons, some wide receivers who can create space. Get this guy in a spot where he feels comfortable. If he's getting paid, he feels comfortable. He knows he's going to be there for a while. This dude will be special. And one thing that I really don't like, I really don't understand is, well, I guess I understand it, but I don't like because it's just not true. The fact that when people talk about quarterbacks and how to be successful and to win Super Bowls, you need to have young talent, young, cheap talent at quarterback. Yes, that is an avenue to compete. A lot of teams do that. Philly, for example, they don't have to pay Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah.
Kansas City before, when they weren't paying Mahomes, had a bunch of cap room to play with. Right now, like Cincinnati doesn't have to pay Joe Burrow. Look at recent Super Bowl winners. They are all getting paid.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes last year, big contract. Tom Brady a few years back, big contract. Who wanted to? Matthew Stafford, huge contract. Like Super Bowl winning quarterbacks get paid a lot. Why do they get paid a lot? Because they're really good at football. People act like you draft this young quarterback, he comes in and lights the world on fire because he's so young and that small cap hit quarterbacks win Super Bowls. It's just not true. Patrick Mahomes, yes, he did do it when he was on a rookie deal. However, he's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Everyone else in recent memory is out here getting paid.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear any of it. I don't want to hear any of it. It is 100% owners are trying to get together, keep prices down. Really annoying. If you want to come out and say you have injury concerns, that's fair. I will give you injury concerns.
Yeah.
But this is football. Every time you tie your shoes and step on the turf, the grass, whatever, you have injury concerns.
Yeah.
Ask Teddy Bridgewater, who obliterated his knee in practice. This is football, man. This is sports. Every second of every game has injury concerns.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it at all. If you're a team that is looking for a quarterback and has cap room, he is a must go and get. Like if you're the Commanders, the Falcons, how are you not
Yeah.
making a run at this?
Yeah. I don't know.
It is crazy to me. I just don't get it. And then like look at the Kansas City model where you have a guy like Mahomes. People want to play with Mahomes.
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster is taking less money to go play in Kansas City with Mahomes and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, guys will come to you and take less money to play with you. It's a model in the NBA we see all the time. The players that flock to the Lakers, that flock to the Nets when the Nets big three came in and the LeBron came to LA. It happens all the time. People want to play with good players. You bring in good players, people want to go play with them. They will take less money to play with them. I just don't understand it. So that is a long-winded answer to say absolutely, you absolutely give Lamar Jackson that type of money.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just a very weird situation because like he doesn't have an agent, so he's doing it all on his own, which I don't necessarily agree with. But yeah, it's very strange. I mean, they brought in OBJ, which no doubt probably his second best weapon since if he signed with the Ravens. I think Mark Andrews is better than OBJ right now. I don't think that's a very hot take, but it's just really, 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 really confusing on why this deal hasn't happened, whether it be with the Ravens or with another team. I don't understand because he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I just don't get.
Me neither. And I just we look at our respective teams. Cowboys kind of have their quarterback of the future. Vikings don't, but are in cap hell, so there's no possible way they can make it happen. But I would give anything to have Lamar Jackson on this Vikings team. Imagine Lamar Jackson, you give him like Justin Jefferson. My God, he was throwing to Hollywood Brown and won an MVP.
Yeah.
Throwing to Hollywood Brown. Get this guy actual wide receivers, good pass catchers. He will thrive, man. Thrive.
Yeah. So that is another situation. We're both in agreement. Give the man the money. He deserves it. I don't know.
We're comparing him to who got the money. Now, no one's saying that was a good deal that the Browns gave out, but it's not unprecedented money.
Yeah.
Like someone else literally has gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
And you compare his football talent to this guy's football talent. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
And Jalen Hurts just signed a similar contract. I think his was 5 year, a little more money, but yeah, it's not like he's asking for just this ridiculous contract when we've seen it with multiple guys across the league. But that will kind of wrap it up for the NFL talk for now. We talked about that blockbuster trade with Aaron Rodgers. We talked about this draft in the quarterback room that is coming into the league. And, of course, the Lamar Jackson saga. We'll be back with a little NBA playoffs talk. So stay tuned for that. And we are back. Tanner, NBA playoffs. Kind of a snoozer this year, first round. Kind of off to a slow start. A lot of injuries. Couple good series, but not a whole lot. I mean, we're watching Boston right now. They're up 104 to 96, leading 3-1 over the Hawks. But let's hop right into these first round matchups in the East. I'll just go through what the series are looking like, and you give me your thoughts after I say them all. Let's go. We got the Heat beating the Bucks 3-1. Obviously, a story around that one. Your Knicks beating the Cavs 3-1. 76ers have clinched their spot in the second round after sweeping the Brooklyn Nets, not New Jersey. And then, obviously, like I just said, Celtics beating the Hawks 3-1. Tanner, talk about your Knicks, man.
I tell you what, the Knicks right now look very good, right? I'm loving what I'm seeing from this team, or from everyone on the team not named Julius Randle. I'm loving
I was about to say.
Jalen Brunson is that guy. I will now be personally accepting apologies from everybody out there, everybody who said that was an overpay, who said that that Jalen Brunson wasn't that guy. Dare I say that him, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett would be a mid-3.
I stand by it.
Uh-huh.
I stand by it.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
I stand by it.
Well, Jalen Brunson is him. Jalen Brunson is incredible. Certainly the best Knicks point guard we've had in forever. One of probably the best free agent signing in franchise history. He's awesome. He is an absolute leader, a game manager, a baller, and can do absolutely everything on the floor. So he's been absolutely dominant this series. Somebody get Donovan Mitchell some help. Once again, Donovan Mitchell is 1v5ing. He didn't play great in game 4. In the second half, he kind of disappeared, which is unfortunate for the Cavaliers, because in the second half of game 4, when they were down by 10 or so, 10, 12 points, Darius Garland had a ridiculous second half when Donovan Mitchell didn't. Probably his worst half of the entire series, and multiple 30-plus point games so far this series, 25-plus point games, to which Darius Garland and company didn't show up. So the Cavaliers have yet to put it together, other than game 2, where they completely came out and blew New York's doors off. But Jalen Brunson's that guy. RJ Barrett with consecutive very good games. I think 19 and 23 respectively in game 3 and 4. Huge part of this team. I mean, when he's on and he's a threat, he's shooting. I mean, whether or not he shoots well is an absolute coin flip. Usually no. But when he's putting the ball on the deck, getting to the rim, finishing. He's been a notoriously bad finisher in the paint. So when he's actually finishing things, he's a completely different player getting to the free throw line. So when he's doing that, this team looks completely different, and he has been doing that in game 3 and 4. And then, of course, you got to talk about the glue, the best role player in all of the NBA at the moment, Josh MFN Hart. This
Yeah.
dude is a beast, man. He does everything you want on the floor, dives on loose balls, plays good defense, gets tips, probably the best rebounding guard in the entire league. That's not like 6'7" or something. Uh, he is he's just awesome. He is just awesome. I love Josh Hart. He's been all over the place, and those are the 3 guys that really have done the deed for the Knicks. Julius Randle has been non-existent, except for game 1. He had a very good game in game 1, which is one of the main reasons why we won. So if he can get it together for the next game, we might be able to close this one out in 5.
Yeah, no doubt the Knicks are playing well. I want to talk about the Heat Bucks series. Gotta give shouts to Jimmy Butler. Went absolutely crazy. Finished with 56 last night to take a 3-1 lead over the Bucks. That's actually a Miami franchise playoff record.
Did Miami have any good players?
Yeah,
Play for their team?
just a little bit. LeBron, D Wade,
Norris Cole,
Mario
Udonis
Chalmers,
Haslam.
Donis Haslam, Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
that when I saw that, I was like, "There's no way that's true." And he's like the 4th most in scored points in NBA playoff game. Just kind of putting the team on his back. Obviously, another storyline with this series is the injury to Giannis. Obviously, not 100%. I can't recall what the injury is, but that's obviously impacting the Bucks series. But Miami's looking as good as ever. That'll be a fun matchup if everything pans out the way we're expecting. Miami, New York. That'll be a fun one. Philly sweeping Brooklyn. Everyone
Snooze
expected that.
fest.
Obviously, another storyline with that is injuries. That's going to be a common theme with this NBA
Everybody.
playoffs. Is like a sprained MCL, I want to say, with Joel Embiid. So he probably won't return this postseason. Doc Rivers said the MRI wasn't good. Way to go there, Doc. But
Dr. Doc.
yeah, man. But yeah, I mean Boston, Atlanta, also another one that's kind of going as planned.
Yeah, Boston's kind of taking care of business. This Heat Bucks series, man. I mean, as you said, it's kind of the meme going around right now. The all-time I'm him performance. Jimmy Butler. I mean,
Yeah.
take a bow, man. Take an absolute bow. Giannis' back injury was something that he was dealing with. He came back. I didn't watch a ton of the game. I did watch, the last like 3-4 minutes when Jimmy was absolutely lethal down the stretch.
Dude went crazy.
Didn't really get to see a good look on the mobility of Giannis, so I don't know if he's 100% what he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's real dangerous if you're Milwaukee right now. East, other than Heat Bucks, has been relatively chalky. I guess the Knicks up 3-1 on the Cavs, but no. Let's just put it this way: there are no 2-2 series in the East.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about Giannis like he had a terrible game. Kind of limped off. He still played 38 minutes, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Bummy. Juju clears.
Yeah, man. 7 points.
But yeah, not much craziness going on in the East, kind of, other than the Heat versus Bucks. I wouldn't consider the Knicks Cavs as being an upset. Would I expect a 3-1 going the Knicks way? Absolutely not, but kind of going as planned. Now,
I will say though, for the Cavs, it just from what I've watched a lot of this series. Obviously, it just seems like they're not dead yet, so I'm not certainly not counting this series over. But it seems like the Cavs are maybe like a year or two too early.
yeah,
A lot of those players, like your Evan Mobley's, your Darius Garland's, getting that playoff experience. Um, just another series of playing hard postseason basketball. Of course, you got Donovan Mitchell, the stud, and then even guys like Karis LeVert, right? Not a ton of playoff and experience with him. I mean, a little bit maybe back in Brooklyn, but still, like, just get this team to gel together, get used to playing playoff basketball, and they have all the talent in the world to kind of take off over the next few years.
yeah, absolutely. It definitely seems that way. But moving on to the West, we got the Nuggets currently playing right now, 29-22. Timberwolves are actually up in that one. Nuggets up 3-1. Then 4-5, we have the Suns being the Kawhi-less Clippers. Shocker to no one, 3-1. Probably the most entertaining first round.
Hey Sam, but the Clippers don't have Kawhi, but they have Paul George, right?
Nope.
Oh,
Tough.
shucks.
Tough. It's like we've seen this movie like 40, 45 times,
It's
50 times, 60.
And I tell you what, surely you guys remember Keegan, our former co-host on this podcast, the Clippers fan, who will still defend those two. Like, they haven't been an absolute failure in Los Angeles, but
Yeah.
that's just a whole nother story.
Yep. Then we got, I think personally, the best series by far in the first round, and that's the Kings Warriors. One we were talking about weeks ago. Tough draw for the Kings.
Tough draw.
But of course, injury happened in that one. De'Aaron Fox fractured his left finger. He is planning on playing. So we'll see how that pans out. And then obviously the Grizzlies, Lakers, up 3-1 on that. Tanner, what's the matchup you've been enjoying most in this first round for the Western Conference?
Dude, I'm right there with. I mean, it's the only series that's 2-2.
Yeah.
Right. You do have the finger, which is not great. We haven't seen a game though. Like, he hasn't played a game with the broken finger yet.
Yeah.
Broke it during game 4. But we haven't seen him play a game with the broken finger yet, so we're not sure how it will affect him. But 2-2 series, 2 games have gone down to the final possession.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes missing
Brutal.
a 3. A little bit.
Brutal.
A little bit against your former team.
Against your former team.
He feels like he's been probably losing sleep over that one. But over in San Francisco, he misses one, and then I can't remember who missed it. There was a game in Sacramento where Golden State had a possession late in the game and missed a shot to take the lead. So they've been intense games. It's been a very good series. Tensions have flared, of course. You have the Draymond stomp.
Classic.
Hopefully is similar to similar to our approach to the the LSU Iowa thing. I'm sure you've gotten all your takes on that, so we're just not really gonna mess around with that.
Yeah.
But you have the Draymond stomp. You've got even before that, Sabonis and him got wrapped up a little bit in game 1. So you got the tempers flaring, close games, close series. Hopefully, De'Aaron Fox is okay. Hopefully, it's not too bad. He can look like his normal self, because I just want more of these games.
Yeah. This series has been incredible. I forgot how fun the Warriors are to watch. I mean, the way Steph Curry moves along using damn near 55 screens in one possession, becoming unguardable, basically. Him and Clay, the Splash Bros, and then you got Jordan Poole coming off the bench, dropping 20 a night. It's just, they're so fun to watch. But then you have the Kings that, let's be honest, kind of getting carried by two players, De'Aaron Fox being one, and Malik Monk coming off the bench. Arkansas repping, shout out. But those two have been phenomenal. Just a fun series.
Got to shout out our boy Keegan Murray from
Keegan
Game
Murray.
4.
Yeah, he struggled to say the least his first couple playoff games, but he bounced back. What did he finish with that?
23.
23. Solid outing for a rookie.
Yep. Relatively efficient from the field as well. So great. It sucks too. Obviously, losing that game, very winnable if you're Sacramento.
Yeah.
But wasting a Keegan Murray game feels like that might be one you want to have back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could talk about the Suns Clippers series, but it's the same old story every year. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard hurt,
Right.
shocker.
I do think it is a decent conversation though about that the Suns, because they have been less than convincing in their path to a 3-1 lead over the, once again, Kawhi-less and Paul George-less Clippers, led by Russ and role players, and they are putting up a decent fight.
Shout out Russ, baby.
Shout out Russ, man. I mean, he's looked awesome this postseason. He's gotten the full Russ experience. Some relatively inefficient games, some very efficient games, doing everything on the floor. I mean, in game 1, when the Clippers won, playing amazing defense, ended up sealing the game for the Clippers, playing defense on Devin Booker. But yeah, I mean, if you're the Suns, it's hard to complain about a 3-1 lead, but also probably not feeling very comfortable right now.
Yeah, it should have been way worse.
And especially if you got to go the next round, play most likely a Denver team that has so far looked pretty damn good and pretty convincing over the Timberwolves, although they're currently down 7 at home in the second quarter. So who knows? Maybe the T-Wolves can mount this comeback.
Yeah, speaking of that series, as ugly as it has been for the T-Wolves, Anthony Edwards has put on a damn show this postseason.
Young star, baby.
3 days ago, he became the second youngest player in NBA history with back-to-back games of 35 points in the playoffs. He only trailed LeBron, who did at age 21 in 124 days. And then yesterday, 2 days ago, Anthony Edwards bypassed the late, great Kobe Bryant as he recorded his 5th 30-point game in the playoffs before turning 22, second most.
Is that good?
Behind only LeBron James.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
So, yeah.
Imagine if that team didn't have a gazillion dollars wrapped up in 2 bum-ass centers.
Imagine,
dude.
Oh, close game here. Boston's up by 1 with 20 seconds left. Trae Young is probably going to, they called a late foul by Marcus Smart with 15 seconds left. But yeah, it's off. What's that? Play before.
The play to take the lead with under a minute left was a wide open alley with Robert Williams off a jump ball.
Trae Young's at the free throw line with 15.8, down by 1.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about
the Timberwolves. Yeah,
the Timberwolves and how bummy the rest of the team is. Let's be honest.
I mean, they do have some good role players. Like Kyle Anderson can play. He can also take a right hook. Kyle Anderson can play. Like Jaden McDaniels, he can play. Trae Young makes both. Atlanta takes a 1-point lead.
Jason Tatum. Timeout. Don't call it timeout. Yeah.
Oh.
Classic. Oh, they called a. What just happened?
This is hard to do without sound.
This is true. This is true. Play stopped with 9.5 seconds left.
While they're figuring it out. I mean, they have some decent role players. Mike Conley's my guy. I love Mike Conley.
We love Mike Conley on this
with
pod.
Anthony Edwards, I would love having Mike Conley as a point guard.
Yeah.
For Anthony Edwards, it's just the centers, man. You got to get him out of here. You just.
I think you ride with Cat.
That's fine. That's fine.
Ride with one of them. You don't need both,
That's
believe it
fine.
or
You,
not.
you certainly don't need both. You don't need to be paying both a combined $1 bajillion. You don't need to trade away your whole team for one of them. But that's just what the Timberwolves did. And, of course, now we're going to commercial. So,
Yeah.
more
And
teams to talk about.
So this is a perfect time to switch that topic. Grizzlies Lakers is another one that's been really interesting. Guess what, Tanner? Another injury happened.
I'm shocked.
But the Grizzlies are down 3-1. Taking that 3-1 lead, LeBron.
Hey, Sam, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, John Morant got injured.
Yeah.
And they're down 3-1.
Yeah.
So those 3 games that they lost, John Morant didn't play in, right?
No.
Oh.
That's only Kawhi, bro. Come on now.
Oh.
No, he
So which game didn't he play in?
Remind me?
I think it might be the game they won.
Yeah, crazy.
The only game they won, John Morant didn't play.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're going to have this conversation. Grizzlies, better without John Morant? Better without John Morant?
No. I think they're better. I mean,
the proof is in the pudding, man.
This is true.
The proof is in the pudding.
This is true. I mean, a couple nights ago, he had 45 points and one of the craziest comebacks. Obviously, didn't finish the job. But
yes, I mean,
45 points.
You have to mention that game. 35-9.
That's
after
tough.
the first quarter.
That's tough. We're back with the Celtics game, so if you hear us screaming here shortly, you'll know why.
This one will not be a replay. This one will, in fact, be live.
But yeah, John Morant, 45 points, 22 straight in the fourth quarter. Just an absolute stunning game, only to be topped by LeBron James. A couple days later, at 38 years old, became the oldest player in the NBA to record a 2020 playoff game with 22 points and 20 rebounds. No way. No way. Derek White draws the block.
They call a block?
Yeah, fuck you, Trae Young.
Wow. I mean, I agree with that statement, but it did not look like a block to me. But anyway, we'll take a look at the replay. Oh, yeah, honestly, he was – I thought he elbowed him, but he was falling before.
Derek White?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows when you have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on your team, you got to go to Derek White.
Should gone.
With the chance to win.
Yeah, of course. But, I mean, they just attacked Trae Young, and
maybe it's not who do we go to, it's who do we attack.
Yeah.
And he just happened to be on Derek White.
Yeah, but this series, this Grizzlies-Lakers series, has been a wild one, to say the least. Obviously, Dylan Brooks calling LeBron old, and then LeBron just returned as damn near prime self and just dominating the competition.
I don't got many words for Dylan Brooks, man. If you want to if you want to position yourself as a villain, fine. I mean, you know, all press is good press, right? You know, you just want to be the guy people talk about because you're crazy and calling out other people for no reason, even though they're way better than you. If that's what you want to do, fine. That's what you do. But you can't turn around and say the media made me a villain. Everybody hates me.
True.
Yeah, when you look like you're maybe hitting on LeBron James, touching his little manly area.
Yeah.
And then getting ejected for it because let's see, how does this look? Let's see how this holds up in court. You talk smack against someone on the other team. He gets hit in the nuts by you. Was it on purpose? I'm going to go probably.
No.
So, yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. And him trying to play the victim in all this is just absolutely hysterical.
It's so funny. And following the night he got ejected, which he finished 7 points, Derek White hits the free throw to tie the game with 7 seconds. 7 points, 3 for 13 from the field, including 1 for 5 from 3. Then following that up in 41 minutes of play, 11 points, 4 for 11 from the field, and 1 for 7 for 3.
Sorry, I'm looking at this other game between the Islanders and the Hurricanes. This game is currently a 1-goal game, and with a minute left, they're currently looking at a possible delay of game penalty by the Islanders. It looked to me like it was a delay game penalty, but it doesn't look like they're going to call it. So
And Derek White, it's the second one.
too much going on.
Too
man.
much. It's too much.
Can't focus.
It's too
We
much.
just can't focus.
Yeah, but the West has definitely been the better of the two, in my opinion. Just because of the Kings Warriors, to be honest.
Yeah, Kings Warriors has been awesome. Even Lakers Grizzlies probably my second favorite series.
Yeah.
I guess taking the Knicks out of everything, just because the amount of smack talk back and forth.
Yeah.
And honestly, the games have been pretty good themselves,
Yeah.
except for the 35-9 first quarter.
Hey,
but as you said,
tough.
the Grizzlies ended up coming back and making it at least a little bit of a game.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first game 128-112. Lakers took that one. Memphis 103.
That was like close to the
93.
third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Then Lakers 111-101, 117-111. So a lot of close games.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other two, series that we were hoping to be good. I mean, more so the LA Phoenix hoping to be good, but of course, LA decides to be LA, and
that's just what Kawhi do, baby.
Kawhi wants to be Paul Reed, because that's what B-ball Paul do.
That's what B-ball Paul do.
Islanders go ahead and win game 5.
Yeah.
So Carolina holds a 3-2.
Atlanta down by 1, 7.3 seconds. We're just gonna ride this game out to the end of the pod, baby.
I like it. Is there anything else to cover?
No, that's it.
I love it.
I mean, if you really want to talk about this, Nuggets T-Wolves outside of Trae Young, what are you doing?
Oh, wow.
From the timeline with 1.8 seconds, wow. Trae Young pulls up for 3 and is up by 2.
Damn,
wow.
What a shot, dude.
And another commercial break.
From the logo, bottoms. Ice tray.
Yeah, that was sick. That's sick. That's a nice selly.
That's a little cool. I'll tell you what, it's nice when it happens to someone else. Not the Knicks. But yeah, man, I mean, first round is the first round. We've had this conversation. You gotta shush the nose. Hey, New York. Oh man. Classic Trae Young.
And now we got Edmonton versus the LA Kings, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what though, Carolina up 3-1 on was up 3-1 on the Islanders, now 3-2, going back to Long Island for game 6.
Yeah.
Similar situation last year, up 3-1 on the Rangers. Rangers come back and win that series in 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're in danger of doing it to the two New York teams.
Yeah. Stanley Cup has been a blast this year. A lot of good competitive games. Rangers, Kraken, Knights, all great games. If you're not a hockey fan, watch it. It's a blast.
And
I
don't know.
No way they gave it to Average Al.
Dude.
No way.
Average Al is him.
No way, bro.
Average Al is him.
Fire this coach.
Dude.
I'm calling for the firing of the Celtics coach. The last 2 possessions, Jaylen Brown, well, he did touch it. He passed it. Jason Tatum did not touch the ball. Does he hit the game?
You don't want him to touch the ball.
Does he hit the game winner right here and shuts me up?
That would be funny.
Nah, they're going to Robert Williams right here, brother.
Got to.
Or Average Al.
And they can get him going to the rim, sure.
Of Jaylen Brown for 3.
Oh,
Jason Tatum for 3. Air ball.
Wow,
that was fun.
Tell you what. Boston and Atlanta going to 6. Atlanta getting a game in Boston. Guys, things got just a little bit more interesting
definitely
over here in the Eastern Conference.
But we'll wrap it up for episode 90 of Crunch Time with the N3260. Congrats. you have made it to the end of the episode. So shout out to you. We got a lot of action in this episode. We got NBA playoff talk. We got NFL talk, NFL draft tonight. So stay tuned for that. We got some Stanley Cup. We got live reactions across 2 sports. It was a great episode, Tanner.
April 24th, a day that will live in infamy. The bad man is gone.
The bad man is
Aaron
gone.
Rodgers going to New Jersey.
Yeah, but let us know what you have thought of the playoffs. Are you paying Lamar Jackson his asking price? Who do you got going number 1 in the NFL draft? Meanwhile, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at crunchtime_pod. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crunch Time, with the Ed326 duo as well. But with that, the clock has run out on this episode, but we'll see you on the next one on Crunch Time.